So I'm a
Yeah.
freelancer, and one of the things I wrote in my book, Path of Freelancer, is this idea of these stages of commitment. And the way that I know if someone's going to be successful as a freelancer is really this question of when your bank account is empty and you don't have any clients, what is the next thing you're going to do? That will tell me whether you're fully committed. Now, if the answer is you're going to go find your next freelancing client, then you're going to stick with it. But if your
Hmm.
next thing is doing something else, like maybe I'm going to go get a job, that
Right.
tells me that you're not fully committed. And so
Yeah.
that idea of being fully committed, and then it's just a matter of how. It's not a matter of whether you're going to get there. It's a matter of how you get there and maybe how long it takes and how effective you are at getting there.
When people make a wild jump towards something like, I'm just going to be a freelancer and I left my job and now my 9 to 5 regular, or 8 to 5 now, job, I left it behind and now I'm going to be a freelancer. And then they meet the moment where their bank account is empty and they don't really know exactly what to do next. And so they go back to what they consider to be safe. I've seen people make successes of themselves by making a leap. I personally was given an opportunity back in 2014. I did not know what success was going to look like. In fact, when we were talking pre-show with Ross, we mentioned sketchnoting, and that's one of the things that I understood. I thought that if I do this and I add value and I'm around people in an environment where I'm bringing clarity and I'm helping to shape an overall understanding of things, I'm in the right spot. So I didn't end up being a sketchnote or a visual graphic facilitator as my job. But that's where I started because I knew the cardinal direction that I wanted to be going in. And so I've done lots and lots of other small things. I've designed a couple of websites in the early days in 2014, 2015. I knew what I wanted to be doing, which was succeeding on my own without being connected to this 8 to 5 type of work.
Yeah.
And I knew that I wanted to be doing something where I was working with people and using my
Mm.
creativity. And the way that my neurodivergent brain works would be an asset to people. How I unusual and regular conversation becomes a superpower in certain conditions. How do I put myself in those certain circumstances or conditions? So when
Yeah.
you're deciding for yourself what you want in this year and you're trying to make it something that will be sticky and will you're going to have a greater chance at being consistent and committed, the more clarity you have of the why and the more clarity you have of if I can pay my bills just by being a freelancer, I will consider that a huge success by the end of
Hmm.
this year. Right?
Yeah.
Versus somebody else who's saying, if I'm at 100K by the end of this year, that's what I will consider to be a success. So you don't have to compare yourself and your goals with anybody else. The only one that you would be comparing yourself with is who you were yesterday. And your
Hmm.
vision is one of who will I be tomorrow or who will I be at the end of
Yeah.
the year. So give yourself a little bit of room to change your mind throughout the year, to make adjustments, to overcome obstacles in creative ways without the need to make it fit the mold. I think that's one thing that Jason does a really good job of, is to try and give people a lot of different actions to take so that you can continue doing what it is that you want to do. And I think if you're not already in the mindset at the beginning of the year of, I am going to hit an obstacle, and when I hit that obstacle, the next thing I'm going to do is to come up with a tactic. And that might mean I need to call a particular friend of mine. It might need I need to read a particular article or a book, or I need to go to a particular type of conference or meeting in order to get past the obstacle that I'm being faced with.